right, we're ready to go. Welcome, everybody. This Board of Commissioners meeting, regular meeting September 27th, 2022. So at this time, I will call this meeting to order. And next item up is an easy one to drop down to is the adoption of tonight's agenda. Any changes requested to tonight's agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to remove old business item I-1.
Okay. Any discussion on any of that? All right, so motion's up. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. That'll be moved out to another time. All right, at this time, I'd like to have you join us in our ceremonial opening. And we have Troop 219 from the Scouts here today with us. So I'm going to turn this part of the meeting over to them, and they can start their procedures right now.
Color guard, attention.
So everybody stand, please.
Audience, please rise. Scout salute. Those who are not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, cross the colors. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Color guard, post the flag of the United States of America. Color guard, post the flag of North Carolina. Color guard, honor your colors. Color guard, return to ranks.
Very well done. Thank you, Scouts. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to drop back just a little bit because I was remiss in the adoption of the modified agenda. So motion, I'm going to go back to the motion to adopt the modified agenda as modified.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're in. Thank you. All right, have one item that signed up for general public comments. Got a 3-minute time limit. Candiace DeFinis has signed up. So, Miss Candiace, if you'd come up, the mic should still be hot for you over there.
Good evening. Tonight my comments are words of gratitude to Chief Michael Eiss and Assistant Chief Bobby Hawk. The words thank you seem inadequate to say to these incredible men. They have worked tirelessly for the citizens of Waxhaw over the last 17 years. They have led and built the Waxhaw Police Department to serve and protect our community. The word community is truly their legacy. That's what they leave with this department. The definition of community that they abide by is a feeling of fellowship with others that results in common attributes, attitudes, interests, and goals. Here in the town of Waxhaw, the relationship between our community and our police department has been nurtured, and it has developed programs that have been put into place. The Canines, the Waxhaw Police Explorers, the Citizens Police Academy, of many who are in attendance this evening, the DARE program, the National Night Out Against Crime. Our community policing program is the beating heart of this town. The strong foundation of respect between our citizens and our police department cannot be replicated. We, the citizens of Waxhaw, from my family to yours, are grateful for your vision, your dedication, your service, and your selfless duty. They say a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. Thank you both for your wisdom and help, and we wish you the best in your next endeavors and adventures. May God continue to bless you both and the town of Waxhaw and its department. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Well done. All right, we are going to move to the consent agenda. Have a motion, please.
So moved.
So move to adopt the consent agenda for tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
All the way around. We're good. All right, now we come down to some more fun. So recognitions. I'm going to turn this over to Town Manager Jeffrey Wells.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. And if I could ask Chief Eiss to come on up here and stand next to me, please. And, you know, Chief and Bobby chose a real good time to do this, just in time for a hurricane to come at the end of this week. So you're getting out at just the right time. So the North Carolina General Statutes provides a unique opportunity and honor to all police officers upon their retirement, and the board has the privilege to make a motion to adopt this evening for both of these gentlemen to be able to keep their badge and their firearm. And so what I'd like to do is just read the proclamation of first, obviously, for Chief Eiss, and then separately for Captain Hawk, and then certainly give them the opportunity to say any words that they would like, and then the board as well. So, a resolution awarding badge and service weapon upon retirement of Waxhaw Police Chief Michael Eiss. Whereas the North Carolina General Statute 20-187.2 provides that retiring members of municipal law enforcement agencies may receive, at the time of their retirement, the badge worn and or carried by them during their service with the municipality. Whereas the North Carolina General Statute 20-187.2 further provides that the governing body of the municipal law enforcement agency may, in its discretion, award to a retiring member the service sidearm a Glock 17 9mm serial number BMS R089 of such retiring member. And whereas Chief Michael Eiss served as a member of the town of Waxhaw Police Department for a period of approximately 19 years and 10 months, a total of 28 years as a law enforcement officer in Union County, and will retire from the town of Waxhaw Police Department on September 30th, 2022. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board of Commissioners for Waxhaw, North Carolina, that the badge and service weapon worn and or carried by Chief Michael Eiss be awarded to him upon his retirement. Duly adopted and effective this the 27th day of September 2022. And the motion requested is motion to adopt Resolution 2022-014, awarding badge and service weapon upon his retirement of Waxhaw Police Chief Michael Eiss. Chief, would you like to say anything?
Well, I feel honored that they broke out the balloons for us. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the citizens of this town. And I want to thank you for the kind words. I've always tried to put the citizens first when it comes to being the chief of this department, and I think your police officers in this department feel the same way. I've enjoyed a long career, but I am looking forward to going home and spending time with some family, my grandbaby, and for my dad. So I thank you.
Okay, well, we'll take the next step with that one, and I'm going to look for a motion to adopt this resolution. May I have the resolution or the motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 22014, awarding badge and service weapon upon his retirement of Waxhaw Police Chief Michael Eiss.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations on that.
Congratulations. Okay, next, we have Captain Bobby Hawk. Come on up.
These Presbyterians, this is going to be a little long.
So, the same as with the chief, of course, this is by North Carolina general statute that upon retirement, the board has the privilege and ability to award the badge and sidearm to a retiring member of law enforcement. In this case, whereas the North Carolina general statute 20-187.2 provides that retiring members of municipal law enforcement agencies may receive, at the time of their retirement, the badge worn and or carried by them during their service with the municipality. Whereas the North Carolina General Statute 20-187.2 further provides that the governing body of the municipal law enforcement agency may, in its discretion, award to a retiring member the service sidearm a Springfield XD 45 ACP serial number XD 763360 of such retiring member. And whereas Assistant Chief Bobby Hawk served as a member of the town of Waxhaw Police Department for a period of approximately 17 years and 1 month and a total of 48 years as a law enforcement officer in Union County, and will retire from the town of Waxhaw Police Department on September 30th, 2022. Now therefore be it resolved by the town Waxhaw Board of Commissioners for Waxhaw, North Carolina, that the badge and service weapon worn and or carried by Assistant Chief Bobby Hawk be awarded to him upon his retirement, duly adopted and effective this the 27th day of September 2022. Now just found out not that long ago that Bobby is a big softball guy, so I thought that was an interesting little fact I didn't know about. Crippled softball guy. So yeah, Bobby.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. I have enjoyed serving the community of Waxhaw. It's the best community I've ever served out of 4 agencies I've worked at. Couldn't hold a job there for long. But, it's a great community. It's got great people. Thank y'all, the supporters of us that came up here. We really do appreciate it. I love this community. I worked hard here. I see the results of it. You got a great department. We're leaving it in good hands. And I like it so much I moved down here, so I'm going to still hold them accountable and hold y'all accountable. So thanks again. I appreciate it.
All right, so with that said, I'm looking for another motion. Who's the motion maker tonight?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, look at this. Wow, that's never happened.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2022015, awarding badge and service weapon upon his retirement to Waxhaw Police Assistant Chief Bobby Hawk.
Very good, thank you for that. All in favor?
Aye.
All around. Congratulations. All right. Jeff, we still have the floor for those who might want to say something. If we can.
So also, Mr.
Just
Hall,
hang on, everybody over there.
I know Mr. Hall would like to say a few words.
Yeah, I did prepare just a few words for Chief Eiss and Captain Houck. And since I've still got the chief captive for probably the last moment, and I know how much he appreciates a good dad joke, so I found something that was kind of appropriate for him. A man filed a report to the police that his bag was stolen. Upon leaving the man's apartment, the police found that the man's bag was at the bottom of the stairwell. It was a briefcase. Chief Eiss, Captain Hauk, you left your families for many days at a time to protect ours. You have spent many years enforcing our laws, but most importantly, you have touched and impacted countless lives in our community. When I see the children in our community run up and embrace a Waxhaw police officer, I see the impacts of your work towards our community policing. To say that you will be missed would be an understatement. Thank you for all that you've done for your long and productive career. And I'd just like to leave by saying a quote from Matthew, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God."
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Moore, I know you wanted to speak.
I'll be brief. As being someone who was in the shoes that you are standing in now, right at the end, I know exactly what you're feeling. I know exactly the thoughts that are going through your minds. And you're looking back on your career. It took me every bit of 30 minutes. I was sitting in my patrol car on my last day, and I sat there thinking about what I would say when I called into communications for the last time. A lot goes through your mind. So knowing what you're going through now, I just wanted to say congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
Hard to top all the things that were said here today in light of the chief and the assistant chief retiring, but everything you see around you here in this town is a testament to their efforts in here, to not only this building itself, but the character of the organization that they've built. And so I want to say, even though I didn't get all that time with you here, congratulations and thank you very much from a very grateful town. Anybody else? All right, we're up. Enough talking tonight, huh? All right, so we'll move down to item number G on presentations. Kathy, you can hang on just a minute if you would. If you just hang on just a minute, we'll let everybody clear out. All right, very good. Come on up and join us. Presentations, we have Union County Public Schools, the bond presentation. Kathy Heintel is the Board of Education Vice Chair, and Dr. Brad Breedlove. So,
I'm
welcome.
Kathy Heintel, Vice Chair of the School Board. Reverend Benson is here as well. He's on the school board at large, and Dr. Breedlove is Chief Academic Officer. So thank you for having us. We appreciate it. We're talking about the bond that it will be on the ballot on November 8th. Do we have the? That's
IT, if we've got a blank screen. Always the technical difficulties. Okay. Why don't you, do you need both screens? Are they two different presentations or not?
It's the same presentation. Do you just want me to go ahead and
We'll
do
go
it?
ahead and just focus on this one.
Okay. Does this work on this one? Ah, there we go. Okay. We've had bonds from 2000 to 2016, and this just shows the 30 new schools and renovation projects that we've done with the bonds since then. So the bond for on the ballot for this year is $134.4 million to replace two schools. Forest Hills High School was built in 60 years ago, and it really needs to be replaced. For $95.8 million. We bought about 130 acres next to Forest Hills High School. We will not demolish the old high school because eventually we're going to renovate it for the East Union Middle School campus, so that will need additional money some other day. East Elementary is in Monroe. We are going to demolish the existing building and build a new one. It's $38.6 million for East Elementary. It's going to be 2 stories. Forest Hills is also going to be 2 stories. East Elementary, we're going to have more room for special classrooms for the Health Science Academy, and we're going to move pre-K classes into the new school when it's finished. For the last couple of years, we've been talking about the aging schools that are in the eastern part of our school, and so this is the big push for the first 2 schools to do that. East Elementary is 70 years old. It's going to have an expanded dining space, collaboration areas, more energy efficient building, improved safety, more on-site parking. We have a parking problem there because it's in downtown Monroe, so we hope to take care of all of that. This is the reason we are doing it, like I said, to address aging facilities in Union County Public Schools. This is a picture of the East Elementary. This would be the front of the new school. The wing on the right side of it is the pre-K and kindergarten classrooms. This is the back of it. Oops, sorry, too much. Yes, sorry. Thank you. Next up is Forest Hills. Do you want to do Forest Hills?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Forest Hills High School, I don't know if you are familiar with Union County Public Schools, but Forest Hills is one of their original 5 high schools in Union County. You had Piedmont, Sun Valley, Forest Hills, Monroe, and Parkwood. It's 60 years old. Most of our schools are built for a 60 to 70 year lifespan, and it is approaching that lifespan. If you've been in Forest Hills High School, when you walk, it's very closed off. It's tight. You got a lot. You have very little sunlight coming in. It's just an old building, old pipes, old electricity, those type of things. Let me see. How does this? Smaller rooms. We are looking to build. Let me see. Here we go. We are looking to build a new high school that will open things up for the students and staff at Forest Hills. It's part of our Ag Tech program. So we have a working farm out at Forest Hills, and we're trying to take that into the 21st century, of course, and there's aquaponics, all of these projects that we are working on, that is the future, and we want our students to be a part of that future. And so a new school will be built, 2-story. It will also have larger classrooms, more innovative classrooms and items within it, spaces, along with collaboration space for our teachers. Weddington, Cuthbertson, Marvin, you have larger classrooms, but you also have collaboration spaces for teachers, for students, and we are looking to bring that same over to the Forest Hills community as well.
And we're hoping to have more CTE classes at Forest Hills High School with the whole county. The students in the county can take advantage of that as well. So that would be great.
Absolutely. And so here are some renderings. If I can move this forward. There we go. All right, so there's the front of the building for Forest Hills. In the back, you can see the old Forest Hills High School. That will not be torn down because the future has East Union Middle coming over to a renovated Forest Hills High School, so you have middle school students and high school students on the same footprint, much like you have on the west side of the county. We have elementary, middle, and high school, which when you talk about vertical alignment between all the schools, you have high school students going down to middle school and elementary to tutor, to be a part of the educational process as well. It just makes a lot of sense.
And East Union is right on 74, and so, I mean, really close to the front of 74, so to get them off of that, so they're not going across the 74 to get to school and stuff would be helpful as well.
Here's a rendering of the back. Yes, here's a rendering of the back side of the school. As you can see, much more modern, opening things up for the students. And so when we look at the project, this is part of a 10-year CIP that we have within the district. This is a first step. You can see here the proposed projects down the road. And a lot of people ask, well, why should I vote for this particular bond in that? Well, this is part of a proposal, multi-year proposal. So we have a lot of projects and a lot of schools that are aging, a lot of renovations that are needed. You can see here repurposing of East Union or Forest Hills High School for East Union Middle, as well as Parkwood High School. It was one of those original 5, and it also needs to be replaced in the near future. Fieldhouse construction at Marvin, also over at Porter Ridge, much like we have at Cuthbertson and Weddington, where students can dress out and near the ball fields, because many of our athletic fields are quite a distance away from the school. And so it will cut down on students walking back and forth a lot and just make it much more convenient. So you can see there a lot of various projects that are planned for the next 10 years. So this is the first step. These two schools are a priority at this point, priority 1. Well, how can the funds be spent? Well, this is extremely important, because bond funds can only be used for capital improvements, right? Construction and renovation of facilities. You have the acquisition of land, the purchase of land, and the purchase of capital items. Those items that go into the school. They cannot be used for salaries or anything like that. They have to be used on capital improvements.
And they can only be used for Forest Hills and East Elementary.
That is correct, because
For this bond.
that's what we're asking for.
For this bond.
How were these bond projects chosen? These two were part of actually a multi-project that we took to the county commissioners. We had $170 million worth of projects for this particular bond. Just working with the board and with our county commissioners, it was scaled back to $134 million, which provided for these two projects. So it went a little bit back and forth to what we felt was manageable at this time. My child's school was now on the bond. Why should I be concerned? Well, priorities, right? You have priority 1, priority 2. Even though maybe your child's school was now on the bond, if we recognize the fact that if we invest in our schools, everybody wins. It's a part of a process, right? And you can see all schools benefit when we value public education. And so just because it's not now doesn't mean that down the road. If we can knock these two off, then we go to the next phase, which are priority 2 and priority 3 at this point. What will happen if the bond doesn't pass? Well, the Board of Education will work with our county commissioners. These schools need to be rebuilt. That's plain and simple. Bonds are the cheapest way to fund the building of schools. And if we don't use the bond, and we have to find another route to build these schools, and it'll be more expensive to do. What is the estimated tax increase? You can see here that we're looking at about $17.30 per $100,000 value on property taxes. And so that's about the cost that it will take. It's $13.6 million is what we are looking at for the bond on the debt service. And like I said, it's about $17.30 per $100,000 value. Where can I find information about the schools? On our website. If you go onto our schools systems website, you go to there's the page, but it is under operations and facilities. If you scroll down into there, you will find information on the bond. It's also on the main page. Is information about the bond. You can't miss it. It's the first picture that shows up on our website. And how will the community members and school stakeholders be engaged in bond projects? We have, like I said, developed a web page, and each school has, as part of the project, has an advisory team. I've worked with these advisory teams. Even though I'm the chief academic officer, I've also been a part of the projects as well, because we want to make sure that when the classrooms are built and the schools are built, they have exactly what the teachers need in order to teach in this day and age. And so they are a part of those decisions that are being made. And then community meetings, you can see at these individual schools, we have a meeting coming up on October 20th, October 11th at East Elementary in Porter Ridge. Has already taken place, but there is one coming up at Weddington High School on October 13th. And at this point, does anyone have any questions for us?
Great presentation. Any questions? All right, Commissioner Simpson.
Great. Thank you for coming tonight and presenting this information. I just want to acknowledge and applaud your efforts to put something together to improve our aging school system and structures. That's really great. Just a couple things I wanted to just understand. So, in your debt service, do you currently have a budget to pay the debt service or the loan payment amount, or will it just be strictly funded per a tax rate increase?
It's our understanding from the county that it would be used with the increased tax rate.
So,
But that's using today dollars.
correct.
17.3 is today.
So out of your annual budget, you wouldn't have,
Not our annual budget, but the county's.
so the county's budget, so they have it, and have they indicated to you that they have the money to make the debt service payment, or they will have to increase the tax to pay that debt service?
That's the 1730 per 100,000 is what they have indicated that they would have to increase.
Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying, they would have to increase the tax 1.73 cents or $17.30 per 100,000 on valuation
Yes.
to pay for the bond
Correct.
obligation, which can only be used just for these two particular projects. Okay, so make sure I understand that. Awesome. Do you know if these two projects, do they include any sort of connectivity options?
In what way?
Well, I know like here, like on the Cuthbertson campus, there's no sidewalks at all along there. There's no alternative transportation, and there's lots of issues in terms of traffic and congestion, creating safety issues. And so it just seems like there has been a lot of, there doesn't seem to be any sort of connectivity or alternative transportations if kids want to take electric scooters or bicycles or sidewalks that, and I know like the school right now is struggling to find bus drivers. It would be really great to have other alternatives or even other methods. I just don't know if any of that's been incorporated in these design plans.
I'm unsure about those, but on the renderings, obviously, you can tell from like the East Elementary School, there are included sidewalks, bringing those much more up to date. If you've been onto that campus, you know that for parents to visit the campus, there's about 15 spots out front, and that's about it. That's not typical for most schools. It's not very inviting. So it is opening up the campus to allow for more individuals to visit the campus and students. And in that community, a lot of students do walk to school as well, because it's very condensed, right? So, but that is a good question. Out of Forest Hills is a little bit different, a little more rural, and so a lot of students do drive.
You can get into Forest Hills off of 74, and what's the road behind Forest Hills? Yeah. So there's different ways to get into.
I just think it's important. I mean, as we're trying to grow into the future, who knows? Like we've had discussions here in terms of our comp plan. We don't know. Maybe we'll be flying little Jetson planes to school. I just, whatever modes of transportation our next generation may or may not use, I just think that should be a consideration or thought about. It's easy to do it now before we build it, right?
At Weddington High School for 5 years. In '84, when the school begins and ends, it's just a nightmare with traffic, for sure.
Well, the only reason why I bring that up is just because Cuthbertson, there's two ways in and out, and so when it gets clogged up, if there's a medical emergency or a school shooting, there's lots of safety issues and concerns for the school and the teachers as well as the residents in that area.
I appreciate that, and I'll bring that to the attention of the team. Thank you.
Any other question?
I'd
Mr. Murray?
just like to briefly underscore what Commissioner Simpson said. Taking a look at how we move into the future, I am hoping that we're sitting down with these engineers and planners and folks that are going to be bringing this thing to life, and they understand the challenges we face, even in my daughter's school, when the parent drop-off line has to make its way, it literally clogs one of the adjacent developments. So a lot of residents are kind of stuck. We're having to assign officers there sometimes to try to help with all that. So if we can, like Commissioner Simpson said, now, before we put shovels in the dirt, take a look at all those safety elements and all those transportation issues and incorporate that. Really give it a thought, so that we're not we're not duplicating the issues that we had before. So that in the future, as however mode of transportation ends up being the mode of the day, we're not again facing the same issues.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Pro Tem, and esteemed board. My children went to Eiss, and I could tell you that just the fact that this building is being structured, Madam Commissioner, the way it's structured brings us from the Flintstones to the Jetsons. And so the issue right now with, say, Eiss is that it's really up on the street. There's really not a whole lot of spaces. Dr. Breedlove pointed out like 15 or so spaces. I was just there this evening before I came here for their presentation. But by building this school behind, that opens up all of that space, and now you have appropriate parking. That's a walking school for a lot of our student body there at Eiss. They walk, they come from the community, so they already have that piece. But that's going to open up this design. And with Forest Hills, if you've ever been to a Forest Hills football game, you know the ingress and outgress of that is relatively simple, because it's just one big long road and is not as heavily traveled as a lot of the other schools in the county. And Forest Hills is a huge campus already, and it has a lot of space, so that just building that school behind it, by the time you get in, you're not going to have like traffic coming out to that street hitting 74. So it's already, with just the way they designed it, is answering a lot of the questions that you had tonight.
Thoughts, comments? Just a quick one if you didn't already go over it, and timeline. So what happens next?
The bond goes on the ballot on election day is the 8th. Early voting starts on the 20th. So go out and vote.
And once the bond, we'll make an assumption that it's passed, then what happens?
Then we have a meeting with the county and how and they place the bond, and we get going from there. So the county gave us, just to be clear, gave us $4.7 million to start with the architectural stuff and everything. So we're ready to go once the bond passes.
That's what was going to be my other question is, so we're talking on this, it's the vertical construction only? So basically foundation up, and any of the site work included in that, or is the site work
They did
part
the
of
site work and all that in that as well. The thing with East Elementary is that it won't be demolished until we have to keep the kids on the campus and working around it. So that will take a little bit longer than Forest Hills would take.
Do we have a construction timeline estimate yet?
We'll get that right after we get the bond.
Any estimates? 10 years, 2 years, 5 years?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years,
Okay.
yes.
That's great. That'll be a good addition in there. And like a lot of us are facing right now, we have some aging out of some infrastructure, if you will, call it that, in our entire community, county community as well. And it will cost more to do that. We're facing that, and we have faced that with our new building that we just dedicated or started the groundbreaking on yesterday. And it's going to cost more to do things in the future. And what we had 40 years ago, or however long this school's been in place, things are different now. So I think everybody should expect that, we're going to have to, like everything else, pay to play, so to speak.
We're aware.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying that in the scope of trying to make sure that our taxpayers know all that these are
Right.
parts
So
of living. This is part of the cycle.
Every year, we have $16 million for improvements to our schools, and we have seen the increase in our bids, so.
We have to.
Cuth percent track right now, we're waiting for a rebid so that we can get it in under our budget.
All right. Any other thoughts, comments around the board?
Mayor, you mentioned your groundbreaking. I want to thank the county manager and the team put together a great program for that. We really enjoyed ourselves.
It was a great event to be at. It was definitely a milestone for this town, so appreciate you being there.
Yep.
Commissioner
Something
Simpson.
too that I had mentioned to you, like on our bus back, that at our new town campus, we're going to have the, I can't think of it now, the Charters of Freedom. And so with the elementary school right next to our campus, it would be really great to be able to do some sort of civics or field trips for the kids to come over and learn about the Charters of Freedom, or even come to the facility for a civics lesson with like our town employees and things like that. So I think that'd be a great opportunity to be able to partner with our schools to be able to integrate and work together.
I love it. Yes, ma'am, we're in. All right, so thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
very
very
much
good.
for
Thank
having
you
us.
for coming over to us tonight. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good luck on the entire campaign. I know you're going everywhere.
Yes, thanks.
All right. All right, very good. Thank you for that. We'll drop all the way down to new business. We have nothing on public hearings, so new business number 1. We have, do I still have Deepa here in the room? Is that where we're going? All right. Is she coming?
I'm not sure, but we have our vice chair,
Okay.
Michael Evola, that will be here. He'll
right.
present.
Very good.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. Wanted to let you know that the OAB met on August the 10th, and they discussed the interviews and the appointment process for the candidates. We have available 23 vacancies for all 6 of the advisory boards, and that breakout is 15 term positions and 8 midterm positions. So with that being said, I will introduce Michael Evola, who is our vice chair for the OAB, and he will present the slate of candidates to you.
Good. Thank you.
Good
Where's
evening.
yours?
So as Ms. Barbie said, the OAB had met twice. Every member of the OAB had interviewed candidates for their respective advisory boards, except for myself being the chairman of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, had also interviewed for the Public Art Selection Jury. Now, as far as the Historic Preservation Commission, those candidates were split up among the 4 members because there was not a representative from that board. However, based on the experience of all of the candidates, we feel like we've put together a good list of qualified individuals who are more than willing to serve the town of Waxhaw. So if I have all the names, if you'd like me to list them individually, or
I don't think we need to. It's in the packet, so we know what those are already. We've gone down this road several times over the last couple of years. So if with that, we can actually go for a motion to adopt a slate. So I'm looking for the motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the slate of candidates for the reappointment to the 2022 Waxhaw Advisory Boards and Commission as presented.
Very good. All right. Any further discussion on it along the way? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unanimous. Congratulations, and we're looking forward to some really great things. And thank you for putting this all together. We started this process long ago, and here we are. So Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, item number 2, we have the initiation phase of a voluntary annexation petition. Lisa Thompson, our Planning and Inspections Director. Welcome.
Thank you. So good evening. I'm here tonight to present annexation petition. It's 18-227. It's for a portion of the Pfister property. A request has been submitted by Mill Creek Residential. It's for annexation of approximately 24.154 acres. It's parcel 06162-024. It's located off Cuthbertson Road. It's east of the shops at Howard's Mill Development. To orient you to the site, the subject site on the left is outlined in blue. You have Cuthbertson Road to the south and NC 16 to the west. In the red is our corridor commercial. That's the existing Lowe's and Walmart development. The annexation process is given to us by the state. It's State Statute 160A-31. So we received the annexation petition. That's number 1. We verified that we have all the property owner's signature. Tonight we're moving through steps 2 and 3. So we're going to have the clerk investigate that the petition is sufficient, and then upon that agreement, we'll move on to number 3, and we'll call for a public hearing. After tonight, we'll get the public notices out for an October meeting, and then the following meeting after that would be the ordinance adoption. So we have 2 motions. The motion to approve Resolution 2022-016. That's going to direct the clerk to investigate the annexation petition, and then approve resolution scheduling that public hearings for October 11th. We're not making any decisions tonight. We're just going through an administrative process to get it going and invite the public to come speak.
And thanks for clarifying that. It is part of the procedures and processes that we have to go through. So if there's any discussion, certainly open it up now, but I'm looking for a motion. Yes, ma'am. Go for it.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
I know that you just clarified that we're not making any decisions tonight. It's an administrative decision to just direct the clerk to investigate that this meets all the criteria for annexation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then I know this week there has been lots of discussion about other parcels. This is different than what was discussed at a community meeting that was held at the beginning of the week. This is not related to that. Is that correct?
Correct.
I just want to clarify that because I think there could be some misinformation in the community that people think this is related to that particular community meeting parcel, and it is not, correct?
It's not.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Any other comments, thoughts, questions? All right. So we're going to look for the first motion. Who's the motion maker tonight?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-016, directing the town clerk to investigate annexation petition 18-227.
All right. Motion's up. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Unanimous. Town clerk?
Yes, so the petition was investigated and is sufficient.
Very good. Thank you for that. All right. Second part of this is to approve a resolution. This is basically scheduling for the public hearing. So can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-017, scheduling public hearing for October 11th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. in the Police Department Community Room.
Very good. Thank you for that. All right. Motion is up. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Good work. Next steps. Appreciate that. Thank you, Lisa. All right. Town leadership reports. First up, we're going to have Police Chief Mike Eiss come up to us again.
All right, last leadership report.
Official duty.
The police department for the month of September issued 285 citations. 87 of them were warnings. We had 2,221 calls for service. We had 3 animal bites and 49 calls for animal control. Incidents reports were a total of 67. 8 accidents 1,306 preventative patrols, 26 arrests, and 0 complaints on officers. CIB, the Criminal Investigations Bureau, had 42 open cases, and they closed 18 cases out. We had numerous drug arrests. One notable one was that they did a search warrant and seized a kilo of cocaine and $50,000. So training, we had officers that attended the Public Safety Leadership Institute, the Law Enforcement Management Academy. We had some that went to radar, LIDAR training. We had some that went to standardized field sobriety training. We had one that went to the criminal justice standards certificate training. And we had one, Ms. Caskey, who went to a grant management class. And then intox research class, we had one attend that. Community police is limited because community police officers are in the elementary schools right now until we can get some resource officers in there. So the events that they participated in were, they participated in the HERO program with Dina. They attended a Waxhaw Business Association meeting, met with the principals, and attended the Broome Street Barber haircut function with the kids from the Back to School Bash. And then I wanted to reiterate, National Night Out has not been canceled. We have moved it probably, I don't even know if we've come up with a date yet, but it's going to be at the lot up, the corner lot uptown. They're doing it. We are stretched thin with Bobby and I leaving so quickly, and then those guys being in the resource officer positions in the schools. Those are the key people that plan that activity. So I wanted to reassure you that it's not been canceled. It's just pushed out a little bit. I will work with the interim police chief and make sure that it does happen this year. So, with that being said, it's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed working here. Love the citizens of this town. I love the guys of this department and the ladies of this department. You're in good hands. You've got a good police department here, and I'm confident that they'll carry on the future of putting the citizens first and taking care of this community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Town Manager Jeffrey Wells, turn on your mic and you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. So on nights where we have a lot of people that are standing back there in the back, I just think to myself, it's just, wow, our new home can't get built soon enough.
Just enough.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we had our pre-construction meeting today, this morning, and have a few milestones that I will share with the board of how the process will go. First and foremost, anticipated project start is the end of November. Now that was what it was this morning. I do have a slight update to that this afternoon. The reason for the initial delay is because of drainage pipe and being able to get that on site, because as you start the clearing and grading, the first things you have to put in the ground is the drainage pipe. But however, this afternoon I got an email said that they might have a lead to get some pipe sooner, which would shorten up the lead time to get started. So we will cross our fingers that that comes to fruition and we can get started a little sooner. But based on the anticipated project start date of being the end of November, they anticipate the building pads being complete by the end of March 2023. Dry end of the Public Services Parks and Rec building October 2023, and dry end of Town Hall November 2023, with substantial completion in April of 2024. So that's where we are as of this moment, and real excited about that. And of course we had a great groundbreaking ceremony yesterday. It was fantastic. I mean, we just second to none, got got a lot of kudos for that, and just really want to let the board know how much we appreciate your vision and your support and your guidance. And we're off to the races now, and it's awesome.
Couldn't happen fast enough, right?
That's right. That's right. Next, one project you probably noticed has been going on. It's made its way up Highway 16, pretty much finished there. Now it's making its way down Pine Oak Drive. It's the broadband project from police department to town campus. So they are installing the conduit and the line to get that fiber optic connection there. And then next, Waxhaw 101 is moving along, and we're going into the fourth week. And this upcoming week is communications, human resources, and IT. And they have some hard, have some hard acts to follow. Rather, planning and Parks and Rec both had some good sessions. Everybody having a lot of fun. So I don't know what they have in store, but hopefully they can try to top them. So it's quite the competitive thing now, which is fun. Last but not least, of course, we know that there is a hurricane that appears to be on its way this weekend. So our emergency management team will be meeting on Thursday morning. We typically meet once a month, and then additional meetings as needed. Of course, we're going to do this one right before, so that we have the latest information on what the hurricane will do. We have an extensive emergency management team. Our fire marshal leads a lot of that, and we'll all be just first and foremost on the information that we receive, a lot of that from Union County, and we've got all of our team that are ready to respond whatever way we need to. The hope is that maybe the worst of it could be some minor flooding. Of course, we'll be ready to react for whatever the weather and Mother Nature provides us this weekend.
All hands on deck on that, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good. All right,
All I have.
good for that one. All right, thank you, appreciate that. Orion, I think you're up next, still in the room over there in the back. You're subbing in as, we'll call you the town engineer today.
All right, thank you. So we have sunbonnet going on. The construction beginning took longer to secure the plat than we had thought. The pre-con was held last week. The survey crews should be out there later this week or sometime next week. The contractor was looking for a survey crew, so he's waiting for his responses from them and who can get out there the quickest. He's going to go with them. And then the work still should be completed by Thanksgiving, I guess, dependent upon the weather. If we keep on getting big storms and losing days, once the project actually starts, that we never know what's going to happen, but it should hopefully be done by Thanksgiving. Another item is the engineering manual was updated this month. The most notable change is the residential lots are no longer going to be allowed at 2-to-1 grades. We're going to 3-to-1 maximum grades on residential lots, so could get a lot less complaints about people's lots eroding and I can't mow the side of my yard. Why'd you let them build it this way? So 3-to-1's a happy change for us. The TAP, the Board of Transportation, likely to review and approve in November. The CRTPO DA fund application. It's another item of submitting to the downtown turn lane project in the fall, called due on October 29th. The DOT has determined they're not going to administer the project like they are for the roundabout. South Church Street RRFB. We are preparing an encroachment to install an improved crosswalk on the South Minton Street. I actually drew up that at the end of the day today. And then the latest paving and traffic calming contract is now complete.
Very good, making progress. The 3-to-1 slope thing, as I've always marveled on guys who try to ride those 2-to-1s and actually stay on their equipment. So that's a good change, I think. That's a real good change to administer. They're making it a lot easier, and you're right, the erosion control will be minimized, the efforts on that. So good thought.
So with the document change, the first 3 pages are all the changes that changed from the previous document 2 years ago, and we hope to continue to update the document every 2 years, or if there's something that really needs to be done, we can update it
Right, it's a good catch. And again, going back to, for this body to recognize as well, is that our team keeps going back to look at things that we need to look at and change and modify and whatever. It's a continuum. And so I appreciate you looking all the time instead of the old status quo. So appreciate that. Any thoughts, comments, questions around the horn? All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, next up is Downtown Director Ashley Knoll. Where is she back here? There she is.
Hi guys, so I'm Ashley, the Downtown Director for the town of Waxhaw. We are in event season, so I want to give you some heads up just on a few events that downtown is planning this year. You'll hear a little bit about Autumn Treasures from Dina tonight, but I wanted to point out just a few things about the event. We are leaving storefronts on North Main open this year, so that our merchants downtown have that easy passageway into their front door. So you'll see that when you come downtown to Autumn Treasures on October 8th and 9th. We're also creating a map of the businesses that are open that weekend too. We'll include their hours and any special activities or sales that they have going on that weekend. And then another cool change, we're adding some vendors on the south side of the tracks as well. So we've had a few requests from those south side businesses. Just, they haven't been able to get as much traffic with everything focused on that north side. So this will be a really great addition for that event this year. Just trying to make those special events a little more of an economic driver for our downtown businesses. Fright Night this year is being planned by our Main Street department. So that will be on Saturday, October 29th, starting at 4 p.m. So we're going to do trick-or-treating at the downtown businesses from 4 to 7 that night, and then we'll also have a costume decorating contest with that group. We will have a costume contest for the kids and the attendees at Stacy Howell's State Farm office on the south side of the tracks. We'll also have some selfie stations throughout town. You'll see that at Nicole Malara's office next to Maxwell's, as well as the Bean and Bill art studio. They'll have another little photo booth there. Our Parks and Rec team will actually be showing Casper in the community corner that night at 7. So come out and join us for that. We'll also have some popcorn and treats out there for you. And then Dream Chasers will be hosting their Halloween party that evening as well. So we'll have that going on in front of Dream Chasers at 7. And then we're also partnering with our Historic Preservation Commission to host a Waxhaw After Dark event. So kind of like a paranormal walking tour that evening. So we'll have a lot going on that night, a lot of moving pieces, but it's exciting to have so many businesses excited to get involved. So we'll also have downtown holiday lighting. So if you remember, we changed that this year. So that is also coming under the downtown department to plan. So that'll be Friday, November 18th. We'll start that event at 5 p.m. It'll be, the kickoff to the holiday season in downtown Waxhaw. We're working with the businesses on activities and selfie stations to host that night. But really what we're going to do is just encourage that holiday shopping in eating and dining downtown that evening. Our lights will turn on at 5:45, but we won't have any street closures or any, festivities other than just shopping and enjoying our downtown businesses. And then lastly, my favorite event of the year is Small Business Saturday. So that is coming up on Saturday, November 26th. That's the day after Black Friday. So you really try and find the small businesses that you can support on that day, which we have a ton of them in downtown. So this is a nationwide event. It's celebrated all over the country. All of our shops and restaurants will be open that day. And then if you guys remember last year, we had some really cute Shop Local bags. We'll bring those back this year. And then we're working on some other ideas with our businesses too. So lots going on. I'm sure you'll hear more from Dina on all of the other events we have planned. So you're not at a loss for things to do in downtown Waxhaw this year.
That's great. I appreciate that. You mentioned the south end of the boulevard. How are we going to work that? Are they going to be on the north side of the south side, or?
They are on South Broome Street.
On South Broome.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to put them in between the Waxhaw Antique Mart and David Upchurch's office.
Okay.
So there's room for 9 vendors right there.
Are we going to close the street off there? Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
So it'll be closed to traffic. Our downtown businesses will be able to get in and park behind Maxwell's for that parking right there. So that will still be accessible for downtown business employees. But it does bring a little bit of activity on that south side.
It does. That's great. I think that's a great thing to happen. So we're
Yeah.
growing.
Definitely. Well, and a huge shout out to the Parks and Rec team for figuring this out, these kind of crazy ideas that we brought up this year. So,
Yeah, congratulations. Any thoughts, comments around the horn here? Very good. Ashley, thank you very much. Thank you for the job you're doing.
Thank you.
Miss Dina. No, actually, I'll go with Dina, then I'll jump back to Lisa. So.
Hello, all.
I wanted you to follow that. So.
I would love to talk to you about what's coming up with Autumn Treasure. So, Ms. Ashley, which is an awesome teammate, we're working together to make sure that both the businesses and our vendors have a good experience in our downtown as well. So, Autumn Treasures again is the 8th and 9th, and you're going to see a lot of movement next week with getting the barricades in place, getting our signage in place. So, just there's a lot of activity in our downtown that's going to happen this coming up week. On Saturday, we have 4 bands, and they're starting at 10 a.m. Mr. Nick, he's probably in the back, but he is actually playing, his band is playing that day, so it's pretty cool. On Sunday, we have 3 bands. We have over 110 vendors all together, and that's the reason why we're spreading out a little bit and able to do that, which we made that work out. Over 16 food options this year. That's going to be awesome. The shuttle is going to run on Saturday from 9:30 to 6:30. Your shuttle spots are Millbridge Clubhouse and the Athletic Barn off of Waxhaw Marvin on that side. Lawson's Clubhouse and SECU right beside Food Lion, right up here is another on this side, and then Waxhaw Elementary. So Saturday, starting at 9:30 to 6:30, you can get a wonderful shuttle to come on down. On Sunday, it starts from 11:30 to 6:30. Again, no stress. Get on your shuttle and come on down and have fun with us. We are expanding, as Ms. Ashley mentioned, on the south side on Broome Street. And then we're also, since we had a little more time, since TAP is not quite started yet, we're going to continue on to that side too. But the children's area is going to be behind Niven's Price. So in that parking area, we'll have them kind of corralled in over there. But we've got obstacle courses, mini golf, carnival games, a spinning coaster, lots of cool face painting and balloon art going on. And then we also wanted to mention that we have wonderful speaking opportunities too if anybody wants to talk and say hello. So I'll be sending an email out about that. For the programs, we've got ballet started, senior yoga. Hero is at Barnes tomorrow. We're having a nature scavenger hunt. And we are going to check the weather for Thursday's night's adult recess, so that might be postponed to another date because of the weather. I just wanted to give you a heads up. And I wanted to give a shout out to my personal Park and Rec team. They did an awesome job with all the event preps that's been going on lately, and I just want to say thank you to them officially. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, thought? Miss Ann?
Dana, are we going to have a town tent again at Autumn Treasures like we have?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So we're changing the stage up a little bit, so it's going to be at similar to Kaleidoscope, we had it at the tracks. So the town tent, if I'm looking out from the tracks going down Church Street, is going to be to your left. We've got PD and fire is going to be right there with us, and then we have actually 3 tents. We'll have our welcome tent, a CIP tent, and a new planning tent is going to be there to talk about the cops. So we're all going to be together as we are as a family.
We also plan to have our CIP progress reports up there, and I talked to Nick about having the town campus and TAP videos on a monitor.
Those were great yesterday. Yeah.
We're making that work. Any other questions?
Yesterday was great. you guys, the team, the entire staff team came together, and it was not only well orchestrated, but it looked great as well, and got a lot of positive comments from those who attended. Best ever that they've seen for a groundbreaking. Usually they're out there in the dirt in the desert. So you guys did a great job all the way in the clearing effort, and I guess a few bee stings was worth it for me. So, you know.
It definitely was a team effort. We're celebrating our new home, so we wanted to make it special for everyone.
It was a great job, and I appreciate everybody who participated in that up and down the board. So thank you. Any other thoughts, questions? All right.
Awesome.
We'll
Thank you.
All right, Miss Lisa, I wanted to be able to have you have the last spot in there for now.
All right, thank you all. Shea Homes held their neighborhood meeting last night. It's for a new mixed-use development called Crescendo. It's a 228 plus or minus acre site. It's east of the Gray Byram intersection. That meeting was the very beginning of a very long process. Once we get through the TRC, the Technical Review Committee, and staff review, we have more details. We'll get a timeline posted on our website so the residents know when they can come and speak. We received a new facade grant for the Antique Mart. HPC is meeting this Thursday to make a recommendation, so you guys will see that in October. And then we are continuing to work on updating our comprehensive plan. These are our land use goals and objectives going out to 2040. We held a public input meeting last Thursday. We'll have a tent set up at Autumn Treasures, so we're looking forward to feedback there. And then we just got a page added to the website. We have a small survey for folks to give feedback on the website. We need to add some more pictures, and then we'll blast that out to the public. We had our Waxhaw 101 last Wednesday. It's a great group. I wanted to thank you all and the town manager to give us the platform to educate the public about planning and zoning. And we followed Dina's group, and I heard we were just as fun. So that's a huge compliment, to be just as fun as Parks and Rec when you're talking planning and zoning. So thank you all.
All right, appreciate that. Any thoughts, comments for Miss Lisa? All right, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. It's you're right. That process. A lot of people don't understand the process for bringing a community development to us is long and somewhat arduous sometimes. But it is a process, and it is something that we follow by law. And as Commissioner Simpson was alluding to earlier, sometimes there's just a lot of misconceptions out there. So I'm going to encourage everybody who wants to know to be able to get on our website and kind of identify those timelines when they can do their homework, investigate what we have coming to us, and they can certainly make public comment. So appreciate that effort. All right, Charlie, I'm going to ask anything for you tonight? You're good tonight? Well, I heard that, so that's a good thing. All right, Board of Commissioners, any comments around the horn? Very good. All right, with that, you guys must be in a hurry to go home tonight, so I'll take a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. No closed session.
So moved.
All right, very good. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.